Maria here. I'm today wanting to speak to you about implementation being more valuable than knowledge. So, where knowledge is something that's hugely important, as in educating yourself and as in seeking new ways of growth and new insight, and we're learning about ourselves all of the time. And if we're not, then I would encourage to bring this curiosity in to learn about yourself, to learn about your field, to learn something new, and to sort of educate yourself on certain things. Like for me, for example, I would educate myself on the business aspects in the past years, and I would still sort of like right now I'd be like looking at all the ways of how social media, how I can make the most out of that, how I can gain a wider audience, and I'm looking at how I can improve my day to day. How currently I'm trying to implement a framework that helps me to create my day in the most efficient ways. So each stage of my life, I've been learning and educating myself on different things. So of course, if I was just to implement, to seek the knowledge and not implement, that knowledge would not have had the value. That I could find out so much information, know so much stuff, but until I actually implement it and try it out and test it out, I'm not going to get the value from it. And therefore, this today is, what is one thing that you are holding off from? And maybe that you're procrastinating on something, and maybe that you've had an idea for quite a while and it's in the back of your mind, but it just keeps hanging there. It may be that each day you're seeking lots of knowledge online, because now we've got so much information, and almost too much information, that the attention span of people is actually reducing. In the past 20 years, it's reduced from 15 seconds to see something to now half of it, 7 seconds. So attention span is obviously reducing. It feels like there's so much more coming at us, and so much information. Which one to choose? So my encouragement for you today is, what is one thing, just one thing, that you are currently holding off from, that could actually create a huge shift in your business? And I'm saying this from the point of engaging with stuff that feels also as if it's irrelevant. For example, I started to create my podcast last year, but I've thought about it for over a year, and I always kept putting it off, and because my intuition was there trying to tell me, okay, do the podcast, and I thought it was a nice idea, but I didn't realize how big this whole thing would be for me, and how much of an integral part of my business as well it would be. It's a hobby of mine in some way. I don't like to use the term hobby in such as I'm just doing it, but I really, really enjoy it. I love to have the conversations with the artists. And what it's giving me is giving me a wider reach as well. It's also giving more opportunity to artists. It's giving more value to lots of people listening. And all of this has given me further on ideas and further on development that was important for my personal journey, but that also has been my part of my purpose. And so the same applies to everything else, really. What is the one thing that perhaps that your intuition is telling you, but that you're holding off from? I just want to give you that encouragement to be able to go for it. Just try it out. Because when we do those things that feel like they are irrational or not as important, they might be the most important thing. And when you're doing your art business, whether that's creating your message, or whether it's getting really clear on your story and your why you're doing things, or getting really clear on your customers, and I do mean it actually in a way of really trying to figure out who are the kind of people that usually want to buy your art, who are the kind of art collectors, where are they, and get really clear on them. It might be some of that. or it might be just coming out visible, bringing yourself out there, communicating about your art, about your vision, about your mission online, doing the stuff that some people feel, most people actually feel at first a little bit taken aback from, because it can feel like quite a scary thing, but it could be the huge shift for you. Or whether it's creating pricing, whatever it may be. I want to just invite you to do that, to think about what would be your next step. It may be that you've already been thinking about it for a while. And I will see you tomorrow. So thank you so much for watching. And if you are watching on replay, why don't you just let me know how you're doing and where you are calling in from, or where you are listening from. All right. Have a wonderful day. Bye.